Hey there, so today we're going to be going over my top 6 favorite first officers from Star Trek. So this is actually kind of hard, and the hardest part was not deciding who belongs where, is deciding who qualifies, especially in some of the cases. So I went based off of Memory Alpha, which is a Star Trek wiki. So basically if they said the person was the first officer, I pretty much went with it. So we're going to be starting off at number 6 and with T'Pol from Star Trek Enterprise. So actually I was not sure who was the first officer, because theoretically it should be Commander Tucker, but it's actually Sub-Commander T'Pol to Commander T'Pol. Kind of complicated, so you can look into it on your own time, but other than that, it was kind of hard, but basically the start Memory Alpha said that I was T'Pol, and I put her there because I just like the others better. So we're moving on to number 5, which is Commander Wolff, and he was the first officer of the USS Defiant in DS9. So kind of interesting how that works. That's why why he's considered a first officer, because according to Memory Alpha, he was the first officer of the Defiant. And now let's move on to my number 4 pick, which is Major Nerys, Major Kira Nerys. Sorry, I mispronounced that. Or Colonel in the later series. But anyhow, so she was the first officer of Deep Space Nine, the space station where Commander Wolff was the first officer of Defiant, even though they were on the same show, same assignment essentially. It was in a way kind of complicated, so that's why they were at 5 and 4, because how them being first officers is kind of confusing, and one of them's not even part of Starfleet. But it's kind of hard. They could probably easily flip the positions. But let's move on to number 3, and that's Commander Chakotay from Star Trek Voyager. So just don't have too much to say, so I'm just going to go on to my number 2 pick, which is Commander Spock of the Enterprise under Captain Cook. So pretty obvious in a way. Good character, logical, classics that helped him a lot, and a bunch of other stuff about him too. Just helps increase his appeal and favorability. So we're gonna move on to honorable mentions, and now that I'm done with honorable mentions, because I don't have any, we're moving on to my number 1 pick, which is gonna be Commander Riker of the Enterprise D under Jean-Luc Picard. So basically, it was kind of hard to decide who was going to be my number 1 pick. First off, I think was harder than the captains overall, but I decided that Riker would be my number 1 pick simply because I wanted him to be my number 1 pick. Does that make sense? I consider maybe favorite, maybe not as complex as like Chakotay, but feel like he's more relatable in some cases than Chakotay. He was the first officer. Well, being first officer was his position. He had no other position to speak of other than being first officer. All they meant, and that continued, with Chakotay and that was about it. And Wolff to a certain degree, and Kira Nerys to a certain extent, but not as much, because Wolff on DS9 was also the intelligence officer, and Kira was also the Bajoran liaison officer, so had more than just plain standard first officer duties. So, and then of course Spock was also the science officer on the Enterprise. It's quite actually hard to determine my number 1 pick, so I decided on Riker. And he also plays an instrument which none of the other first officers actually do. I know, not much, but it actually helps. So there you have it, my top 6 Star Trek first officers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. Check me out on social media, consider supporting me on Patreon, and feel free to visit my website and any of my other YouTube channels. Links are in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel for future Star Trek content. Have a good day or good night wherever you are. Live long and prosper.